Oh, I'm a little bit worried about this one. I know the decision for Football Manager Mobile to be exclusive to Netflix hasn't been a popular one, but just remember, I'm not Football Manager. I don't work for Football Manager. Please don't shoot the messenger. Don't shout at me. I'm just going through the new features. If you choose to play it or not is up to you. Please don't shout at me. I'm very delicate. Hello folks and welcome to my first look at the new feature set for Football Manager 2024 Mobile, which, as mentioned in the intro, if you're not already aware, is exclusive to Netflix. If you're not fully up to date with how that works, basically you will be able to download the game through the iOS store, through the Android store as usual, but in order to play it you'll have to log in with your Netflix account. You won't be able to buy the game on the stores. The app itself will be free to download, but in order to activate it you'll have to log in with a Netflix account. It is exclusive to Netflix account holders. The reasons for it, we can only speculate. My understanding is it was basically a choice between doing something like this or just not making FM Mobile anymore because it wasn't popular enough to justify the time and expense for developing it based on the sales that it had. We saw a similar thing happen a few years ago with Football Manager Touch when that disappeared off of tablets altogether for a year. We had no FM Touch and then it came back the next year as an iOS exclusive through Apple Arcade. And I think it's a similar thing. In order for the more niche versions of Football Manager to continue and justify the development cost, they effectively need a sponsor, and that's what this is. Netflix are sponsoring it. If you've got a Netflix account, the good news is you get the game for free. You don't have to pay any extra to have it. If you don't have a Netflix account, the bad news is if you want to play it, you're going to have to get a Netflix account, which, if you then don't use it for anything other than logging into Football Manager, makes FM Mobile the most expensive Football Manager game of all time. So I offer no opinion. If you enjoy FM Mobile, this was the only way you were going to get to play it. So I guess on that basis, it's a good thing because the alternative was no game at all. You're going to shout at me in the comments now, aren't you? So let's go through the features, and we've done this for all the other versions of Football Manager. They're all in a nice big playlist on the main channel. You can go and head over and look at those at your leisure. There is still one more to come, as you can see, FM24 Touch, which presumably is an Apple Arcade exclusive again. I don't actually know for sure. I think it is. But there's your little Netflix games logo as confirmation of that. And J-League is making it in. And then we've got this little overview of what the new features are. And then we can have a look through the article for the deep dive as normal. So effortless onboarding is headline number one. So from tactics to transfers, get to grips with the world of football management with refreshed in-game guidance ahead of those all-important match days. So we're getting a little bit more explanation, a little bit more tutorial kind of stuff, which I think that's been missing for a long time in all of the Football Manager games. So that is definitely something that I'm happy to see there. The fact that that's the number one headline feature. I'd be alarmed if I was paying for this. Luckily, I've got a Netflix account. It comes free with my Sky Telly so I can watch the football on. Prepare for battle. Outsmart your rivals with all the key insights on their strengths and weaknesses in the new PreMatch Hub that ensures you're prepared for each fixture. Yikes, I tell you what. React to key match moments. Make game-winning calls with new interactive match events, making it easier than ever to change your setup when your team needs it most. I don't play a lot of FM Mobile, but none of this is very inspiring. Develop your reputation. Reap the benefits of your unique management style as your career progresses. A reputation for developing youngsters might secure the signature of the very best Wonder Kids. That's quite cool. We'll find out more about that in a second. I quite like that. That's quite cool. Get rapid match insight. Win, lose or draw. The new Postmatch Hub will offer you an immediate overview of how your game went moments after full time, giving you the tools to boost future performances. Is this, are they actually adding media interaction? Is that what this is? Oh no, this is a meeting. Okay, so there's a little bit... stuff like this has been missing from the mobile version for a long time. Let's read through. Let's get a little bit more information rather than guessing. So we already know all of this stuff in the first bit. We've just had a look at all that. So let's dig straight into the meat of this. Prepare for battle with the new PreMatch Hub. So what is the PreMatch Hub? Whether it's a title decider, a cup final, or a regular midweek league match, getting key insights about your upcoming opponents can help you outsmart your rivals on the pitch. In FM24 Mobile, the new PreMatch Hub brings you up to speed on all the hot topics before those all-important games, including tactics, scouting reports, analysis, and key stats. So we've got some examples of what those screens look like here. Actually, I've immediately been a little bit critical of this. Some of this is quite cool. The fact that we're getting pre-match reports. I know we get, so if you play the PC game, you're like, this stuff's been in the game for years. It hasn't been in the mobile game for years. That's why this is quite cool to have in this pre-match report of your opposition. Quite cool. Having the media prediction. I don't mind that. It's been long overdue. It's good to see it being added into the game. Your opponent's strengths, weaknesses, and forms are all here, giving you the perfect pre-match insight to exploit any vulnerabilities. Your reports will also reveal a predicted starting lineup, their danger men, and reveal their style of play. Are your tactics set up to beat your rivals, or do you need to head back to the tactics board? Match expectations will also inform you of the media's pre-match prediction, how your board thinks things will pan out, and the thoughts of your fans. Alongside this, you'll get a clear sense of your player's mood and clearly see who is ready to battle for the win. With all the key pre-match information at your fingertips right up until match day, the pre-match hub will keep you fully prepared as you look to tweak your tactics and shuffle your lineup for the big game. Anyone who's played FM Mobile, and I have done a bit over the years, it is very much pick an 11, don't vary from it, hit the button a lot, and you can get through a season in an hour or two. If it's becoming a little bit more simulation-y, a little bit more thought has to go into it, that can't be a bad thing. A revamped interface for squad and tactics, so picking your strongest team for a big game will always give you the best chance of victory, and that may require tinkering with your setup from time to time. Before you take to the field, you'll notice that a reworked design for the squad and tactics screen will make it easier for you to pick and swap players, as well as fine-tuning key player roles. When replacing a player in your squad, you'll be given a list of the best options you have, along with information about their ability, aptitude, and condition. If your no-nonsense centre-back has been ruled out, you'll be shown a list of suitable replacements. Do you go for an experienced head or a promising youngster? That's cool. So that is your list of no-nonsense centre-backs there in order of how good they are at that role. That's awesome. Again, stuff like that has been missing and is well overdue being added to these mobile games. That's great. If a player has been underperforming in recent weeks and you're weighing up whether to bench him, you'll be able to compare against a potential replacement. For example, if your inside forward has struggled to find the back of the net, you'll be able to see who his positional rivals are, giving you the option to shake things up in attack. I like all that. I mean, what you got to remember is we don't have to pay for this game. If you've got Netflix, you'll get it for free. If you haven't got Netflix, I'm fairly confident none of you are going to go out and get Netflix in order to play it. So bearing in mind this is effectively free, I think there's some nice little updates, bringing it a little bit more up to date. React to key moments with an enhanced match experience. Sometimes your pre-match strategy might not go to plan. Injuries in the game can derail your team, and you may be forced into a tactical rethink if you're under a bit of pressure. In FM24 Mobile, new in-match notifications will make it easier than ever to change your setup when your team needs it the most. For example, if your star striker has picked up a knock, you'll be given the option to replace him immediately with the player's current ability, morale, and condition, helping you choose the best replacement. That is cool. I like that a lot. Especially, remember, these are on phones. It's fiddly little screens to get around. Just having nice, easy, okay, you've got 3 options. Which one do you want? Confirm. Remove the friction from the fiddly little mobile screen. That's great. If your team are desperate for a goal in the dying... It's very nicely written. If your team are desperate for a goal in the dying embers of the game and you get a late corner, the option to send your keeper forward will appear. Will you take the risk or play it safe? See, I think that option's been removed from the PC version. I can't see on the new set piece thing on PC and on console, I can't see the option to send the keeper forward anymore. But it's been added into the mobile version. So they are thinking about goalkeepers going forward. It must be in there. I haven't spent enough time with the set piece creator yet. It must be in there. You'll also be given the chance to change your penalty taker if their body language is poor, if they haven't scored in a while, or if a non-designated taker is on a hat-trick. After all, who'd want to deny them that glory? Me. Get the best penalty taker on it. No room for being nice in football. An enhanced system for changing mentalities will also give you more freedom to choose your desired approach. If you're holding on for a vital win against your rivals and your backs are up against the wall, you can now more easily switch to a defensive mentality to help contain the opposition. This is, like I say, it's all about reducing friction, quality of life stuff. I am all for all of it. It's also easier to make substitutions in-game now, with an additional option available at the bottom of the screen during the match, helping you to quickly make those all-important tactical tweaks in crucial moments. With a sleeker, enhanced match experience, you're now able to react quicker to key moments and make big calls along the way. That's all positive stuff. And then we have Postmatch to reflect on your performance with the Postmatch Hub. So we've got the PreMatch Hub, changes to how in-match works, and now a Postmatch Hub as well. The whole match day, not just the match, the whole day looks like it's being changed, which I've said it several times already. I'm not going to stop saying it. This was all long overdue, and it's good to see it making it into the game. Whether you win, lose, or draw, having feedback each game will help you strive for more. A new post-match hub will give you an overview of how the game went, with match stats, player analysis, reactions, and more now available for you to digest right after the full-time whistle. This will give you the tools to look at where things went well and where they could be improved, along with reactions from key members of the club, whether they're elated or deflated. I love the wording. The hub will let you know the mood of your players. Alongside this, following the introduction of pre-match and halftime team talks in FM23 Mobile, you'll now be able to gather your players for a post-match team meeting in the hub. Congratulate your players on a job well done, or call them in for extra training. The choice is yours. So a little bit more player interaction coming in as well. Get up to speed with overhauled onboarding. So this, huge for new players. And there will be new players who come in off the back of the Netflix thing, because there's no longer that barrier of having to spend money on it now. If you've got a Netflix account, what's the harm in trying it out? And the onboarding stuff, the tutorial stuff will help with that, with bringing you up to speed, because it does work very differently to the PC version, the console version. If you've played those other versions, this is like a different game. To help you reach the top of the game in FM24 Mobile, a revamped onboarding system will help you get to grips with the world of football management. Some in-game guidance for areas like navigation, tactics, and player development are all implemented, helping you to speed towards those all-important match days. For example, when setting up a tactic, an overview of each tactical approach will appear, helping to explain the differences between tactics like Route 1 football and tiki-taka. Hoof it long, play out from the back, counter-attack. The tactical style is up to you. More explanation of how the different styles work, I'd welcome that in the main game. We only get like a sentence in the PC version. This is quite detailed and quite cool. I like that. Because I'll level with you, I still don't really know the difference between tiki-taka and control possession, even 5 years into those tactical styles being in the game. Alongside this, you'll be shown the strengths and weaknesses of each tactic for your team. So for Route 1 football, if your team has some aerially powerful strikers, then this may be the tactic for you. That's cool. With this guidance implemented across the game, you'll be better informed about the importance of each screen and how each area can benefit you in the quest to become the world's best. And then we've got this manager reputation stuff, which is very different from what we have in the PC game, I think. In FM24 Mobile, you can now earn reputation titles. So very mobile gamey. You can now earn reputation titles as you progress through the career based on your tactical approach, personality, and transfer decisions, which can provide benefits too. If you developed a reputation for developing youngsters into top players, you'll receive a reputation title as a star maker. If you're then in the market to sign a wonder kid for your team, they might see your club as the perfect stepping stone based on your reputation. That's awesome. I like that a lot. Get this in the PC version, a version of it. Don't make it quite so gimmicky and mobile gamey, but having some kind of system like this running under the hood in the full version would be cool. You can also earn reputation titles through your people management style. If you're someone who isn't afraid to let the team know they're underperforming, you may find yourself with a hairdryer reputation title, but that could encourage your players to work that extra bit harder. That's good. Your players may also react more to your reputation. Some players may be happy to have a halftime dressing down, while others may respond negatively, so keep an eye out for their reactions. And then we've got the new league being added in, so the long-awaited journey to Japan has arrived with the Meiji Yasuda Insurance Limited J1, J2, J3. The full title. The Japanese leagues have been added, just like they have on all the other versions of FM. And then the best of the rest, we've got uncover fully updated team, player and competition data in FM24 Mobile. The inclusion of starting injuries from the database, along with a larger number of national team players, will help give the richest and most complete game world yet. And then a brand new load and save screen will allow you to manage and track multiple careers, each with dedicated folders to help you organise your managerial personas. With many new additions to FM24 Mobile ahead of its release on Netflix Games, you're better placed than ever to achieve success in the race to the top of world football. So I know there's going to, the overwhelming thing is going to be being upset about it being Netflix exclusive. But I actually think that's a pretty solid set of new features. The whole match day has been redesigned. Yes, it's still going to be 2D. You're not going to have a 3D match engine on it. But if you're on iOS, you can get touch, or at least last year, I mean, this hasn't been announced yet for this year, but I assume it's coming. You can play touch on phone anyway, so you can get 3D on phone through that Apple Arcade version, which was really good last year, but again hidden behind the subscription for the Apple Arcade, similar to how this one is going to be hidden behind the Netflix subscription. So I imagine there's going to be those of you who are on Android, those of you who don't have a Netflix account are going to be pretty miffed if you do enjoy playing FM Mobile. It's just the way these things are going, unfortunately. But if you try and separate that from what we've actually seen as the new features of the game, I think it's a solid feature set, and I'll have a play around with it myself when the game comes out on the 6th of November, the same day as all the other versions, and you will see reviews of each of them appear over on the main channel over the course of the first couple of days. With all the games dropping on the same day, I probably can't get every review out on the 6th, but I'll do my best. There'll be 6th or 7th you'll get these reviews. So if you're on the fence about it, if you're on the verge of signing up for Netflix, please, I wouldn't recommend £12 a month for Netflix just to get this. Maybe do a month, play the game. Who am I to say? But yeah, that's it. We're done. We've had a look. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on it for me. Subscribe to the channel for more stuff like this, but also mainly over here, you've got the Twitch replays. So go and check out what else we've got on over here. The Chelsea save we've got going on at the moment is a lot of fun, and there's some cool stuff coming to Twitch in the as soon as the new game is out as well. So you want to subscribe to this channel as well as the main one. And thank you very much for watching.